Yo, hello, what is up, you guys? Bison back here with a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about Prismatic Evolutions. Another update on what's been going on with the set. So, obviously, as you guys know, a lot of people were voicing out their opinions and really their disappointment, when it came to when the set was released, that enough of it wasn't printed, that it's just a bunch of scalpers buying it up. And then they saw pictures or videos of a bunch of streamers that just have like a shitload of product, and then people are like, oh, well, that's not fair, a regular consumer can't even get it, and the only way we can't get it is we have to be paying these absurd prices out the gate. And then that's when Pokemon, I think before it was officially released, they came out with a statement, basically saying that they understand that this set is difficult to get, that they're basically going to print to demand, right? We don't know what that means. We don't know what's going to get reprinted, how much, when. We don't have any confirmation. The only thing we do have confirmation is Surging Sparks, maybe a couple other things, but Surging Sparks for sure. And the funny thing is you literally had people that were convinced that this was going to break records, that it was going to be 400 or 500 in ETB. That, yeah, like you might think that's ridiculous, but no, there was people that literally thought that this was going to go to the moon, that was going to be Hidden Fates, when Hidden Fates ended up going to 300, even though that was like a whole different time, this and that, right? Anyways, after that announcement, right, people were saying like, oh, it's really nothing's going to happen. It's still. So tell me how it went from 150 to 101 if really nothing was going to happen. And I made the 2 videos I made on Prismatic. I said that I'm not buying product. I currently don't have anything, that I'm just going to wait for reprints to come. And right now, same thing. Like, I literally see listings on Facebook for like 100, maybe lower now in ETB. But I said I'm going to wait, right? Because I see this ETB dropping to the low 70s, or high 70s, low 80s. But dropping down to like 50s, 60s, I don't see that happening, but definitely like 70s, 70s, I see that definitely happening. And anyways, it's crazy when you see that. It almost tells me, right? Because people are saying this set wasn't printed to demand, that it was short printed, whatever, right? The total value of this set is like 7,500, or probably a little more, something like that, right? Actually, I have it up here. Yeah, okay. So 7,665, right? It's literally Evolutions, which everyone is a fan of the Evolutions, right? It has crazy demand. It's literally like the hottest thing right now. So how is it possible that it tanked this much in a short, not in a month, not in a, no, like in a short time span, it just completely tanked by 30%. Oh, that's why. Because a good majority of product is in the hands of scalpers or people that aren't even part of this hobby, that aren't even here to actually stay. They're just going to be here for a couple months because they see money is being made, because they got outpriced out of their own hobbies, or because their hobby's dead and they see, oh, Pokemon, there's money to be made, and they're coming here, right? And they see the announcement, and they're like, oh no, my thing's going to go to zero, I'm going to lose money. And now they're all getting scared. They're all getting desperate, like, no, I got to unload it. What if it drops? Like if they're selling at $100 and they got it for, what's retail, like 50 or something? I don't remember. Oh, I double my money. I'm just going to get out of it. This, that, whatever, right? And you could tell, because these people, you could tell they haven't been in the hobby for a while, because if you've been in the hobby for a while, it doesn't have to be like 5-10 years, right? If you've been here for just for a few years, you understand how this hobby works and how this market works. Literally, there's never once been a year where everything's just been on the uptrend, like forever, like for every set. Like, yeah, like right now it looks like it, but that's only a few months. But now you're starting to see a slowdown. I mean, Sword and Shield is starting to slow down. I mean, for Sun and Moon, I don't think there's a slowdown. It's just stagnating right now. But that's due for like a run. That's like a whole another video. But anyways, and then obviously we're seeing that right now for Prismatic. I mean, Prismatic's coming down, but at the same time, it really didn't make sense for an ETB to come out the gate this high. The only outlier was Hidden Fates. And people were convinced it was going to pull the Hidden Fates. I said with how pre-sales were looking, I was like, I could see it going to like maybe 200 or whatever, but 300 is too much of a stretch, right? And hey, I didn't go 200, but at the same time, I didn't buy anything. I wasn't convinced like, oh, like I was like, oh, if it happens, it happens. But with me, I like to get cases. I don't like just buying 1, 2, 3 TVs. Like I like buying cases. So that's why I'm fine waiting. I'm fine with waiting, and it was to be expected because I understand how this market works. Like this, it wasn't, even if it did boom, right? It was gonna come down. It's never it's never a straight line going up. Never. You can look at every set. You can look at every set. It's never going up forever. It'll come down. It'll stagnate, and it was bound to happen for Prismatic, especially because I mentioned this multiple times. Specialty sets are known, are notorious for just getting obliterated by reprints, right? And then they stagnate for like a few years, right? Not like 5 years, but like maybe a year or two, right? They dip, go up, stagnate, you know. But if you have great, like good sets like Hidden Fates, Crown Zenith, they'll eat all that supply and then they'll come out on top. I mean, Crown Zenith was literally stuck in the 40s, 50s for God knows how long, and now it's above 100. So Prismatics, no doubt, is going to get that same treatment. Now, how low will the prices come down to? Who knows? Maybe 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I said probably in the 70s. I can see them coming down to. I mean, 50, that's too low. 60 though, like mid 60s, maybe, but 70s, I see that happening. I see the potential there, but this was obvious, and people were just like getting so terrified. And hey, if you're someone that just wants to buy to open it up, hey, this could be your chance, because who knows when the reprints come, if it's going to keep crashing down or if it'll start going up a little. I mean, this one, yeah, they're literally selling 20 of them, and they have 100 or at 103, which is a lot better, because there was people paying like 160, 180, 200, which is like, hey, that's crazy, especially because a lot of people were saying that the hit rates were garbage, that it's like impossible to get anything good, that it's just abnormally like harder than it should be, apparently, is what's being said, but yeah, hey, this should make a lot of you happy. If you're against scalpers and everything, hey, it's crashing down, because those scalpers, like I said, they're only here to make money. And it's crazy too that, they're going out of the way to go to vending machines, whatever, to buy, 4, 6, maybe 8 ETBs, right? And let's say they're selling them at $100. Like, oh wow, you made what, 2, 3, $400 like profit? Like, wow, like that, that's gonna support you for the rest of the year? Like, really, dude? And it gets to the point where people are breaking out to fights or whatever just to make a couple dollars profit. And it's like, why? Like, that's one thing I don't understand about the hobby, is why people just embarrass themselves over just a couple dollars. It's not like you're making $1,000 off of each ETB, and it's like, why are you guys like, why? Like, I don't get why people just act like animals sometimes, just like get into fights, like, oh, I need this, and it's like, bro, like, come on, man. And I saw one listing on Facebook, right? I don't know if I can find it, that there was a line, and people, like, they agreed that they'll just get 1 ETB each, right? Like, hey, we'll make it fair. Let's just all each get 1 ETB. And that one guy came, he like just swooped in and just bought all of it out. And then he like commented saying like, oh, that's not the whole story, that I bought 4 and I left 2, or I don't know, something stupid. And I was like, I'm just sitting there, I didn't comment, but I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, so, but you still came in and bought multiples, even though everyone else agreed, like, hey, let's just buy one so everyone has a chance to open this set. I'm just like, really, dude? For what? Just to make 50, $60 off of, like, yeah, I get it, it's quick money, but what happens once that quick money's gone? Then where do you go? Where do you go from there? And that's the thing, this market that we're in, it's not gonna last forever. And people are in for a rude awakening when that does happen. Now for Prismatic, it's a great solid set. I mean, literally, like, the values on it, crazy. Now, where do I see the values dropping when reprints, whatever hit? I mean, man, I would say 2,500, 3,000. I could see it coming down to, who knows, maybe 4,000 depending, but it'd be crazy though if it just, I don't see it tanking below 2,000. I just can't. 25, 3,000, around that, I can see it, but then it'll probably start dropping down a couple, and it'll just stagnate in like the 2,000s, and then maybe go up. I don't know. With set values, like I don't deal anything with singles. I just deal with single product. So that I don't know. It just depends what people are willing to pay for. But with Prismatic, if you're someone that's looking to invest, so let's actually get to invest in, I would say wait. Reprints. Obviously, we're due for a reprint on this. I honestly think this set can come down like in the 70s, which if they do, I'll pick up cases because I'm not someone that likes to just buy single ETBs. I like to get them in cases so that way they're already packaged in a box and I can just store it and boom. With the regular ETBs, yeah, no, it's a mess. I'd rather just have a box already. So yeah, I'd rather just wait for a reprint to happen. That's where I estimate it. And then, like I said, with specialty sets, one rule I strictly follow, unless there's outliers, is I will hold it for 5 years. 5 years at least. Because specialty sets are like a little bit more on the slower end as compared to mainline sets. That's why I always say booster boxes will always, in my eyes, be king when it comes to sealed investments. They'll always be the best. ETBs, they're just more slower. Even with specialty set, they're just slower. And then once they hit a ceiling, they stagnate for so long. And then on top of that, you have to sell them. And it's like, yeah, like even if the ETB has demand, it's like people usually aren't in the market to be buying ETBs a couple years down the road for specialty sets. Like, yeah, you'll find some people, but like as compared to booster boxes, that's just my personal experience. But yeah, that's what I see happening for Prismatic. And hey, if it does come down, don't worry. I mean, Hidden Fates was able to crack past 225, and I remember this thing was stagnant for like it was stagnant from I would say 149 to like 165 around that range. It was stagnating hard. Like you don't understand it. It was stagnating, and obviously it was apparent because it skyrocketed to 300 or whatever, and then just crashed down. I remember you were able to find ETBs for like anywhere from 90 to $100, right? But obviously that didn't happen for Prismatic. Prismatic didn't skyrocket to. Who knows? You never know, but I don't really see that happening. So that's why I say I could see ETBs coming down to like 70. Who knows? Maybe in the 60s, mid 60s. You never know, but I think 70s. I would say mid high 70s. Crown Zenith, same thing. This thing was struggling. It was literally like in between 50 to 60 for so long. It was stagnating. It'd go up like maybe like 1% and it'd just come down 0.5%. And it would not make any moves for months. And obviously people thought the supply was infinite. Nope. Because Crown Zenith just has so much demand as well. And it ended up burning through all that. Like it was hit with reprint after reprint. It's now over $100. Yep, and the set value is 1206. I mean, technically 13 something if you have the regular set. Hidden Fate, same thing. It's at 1741, and ETBs are 225. But keep in mind that set's over 5 years old. So with Prismatic, I mean, Evolutions. Everyone's just a fan of Evolutions, right? And just with how hot it came out, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. I made a video about this. If the reprint comes and the prices come down to where they're a very favorable price, buy it. Buy it and hold it. That's all I'm going to say. Don't wait. Don't sit there like, oh, I'm going to wait when it drops to 50, 45, 40. I'm convinced those days are gone. Who knows? Maybe even the 60s might not be possible. So if you see an opportunity, just buy it. And it's crazy because, yeah, apparently it was 10. I don't know. But, yeah, it's just been coming down steadily because, honestly, like I said, I don't deal with singles. I don't know really anything about that market. I'm not going to sit here and be, making opinions, but I literally don't know anything when it comes to singles. So I don't know how that works, but with the sealed product, that's all I'm going to say. Comes down, you better get in. That's all I'm going to say. And then for all the people that are upset at scalpers or whatever, don't worry. They're already starting to get scared. They're already starting to get terrified because of an announcement, or who knows, maybe they have flashbacks of other TCGs where a set was just printed into the ground like for an infinite amount of time and it never recovered and they lost money, and who knows, maybe they're getting flashbacks to that. Like, oh, what if it happens with Pokemon or whatever? And they're just getting scared. They're like, oh, I'll take my $50 and and run off with it. Don't worry, these scalpers aren't gonna be here forever. They're usually only here for a couple months. They're only here because, I mean, with the bull market we're in Pokemon, just the demand for it is just crazy right now. But yeah, these scalpers aren't going to last forever. They're only here because there's quick money to be made. These people they don't have the thought process of a long-term mindset. They're just here just to make whatever they can in a couple days, week, whatever, So yeah, so to all the people that are upset at scalpers, don't worry. They're not gonna last forever. I mean, they're already starting to get terrified. I mean, like, come on, like 30%, and I actually, wasn't this like sort of a little after the announcement was made, where just completely, I don't know, who knows, I don't really know the time frame, but yeah, and yeah, hopefully, because one last thing I know, whose live was it? I think it was with Nostalgianomics. It was who mentioned it? I think PokePlumber mentioned it, that on Facebook there was people that were still in the store with the ETBs posting it up. Like they literally had the ETB still in their cart and they were just posting it. At that point, that's like, dude, like like that's mad. Like, that's just crazy at that point to think about. I'm like, there's no way, dude. Like, I get it, like people want to make money, but like, you don't even wait to get off the store, dude. It's like, it is crazy too, because you just make yourself look bad. It's like, it's same thing with stores, stores that are just upcharging like crazy, right? I know there's stores that are honoring like retail price, or like they're trying not to sell that high. Like maybe they're selling it at $80 in ETB, like an actual good price. There's other stores that are just like milking it as much as they can. And they need to remember that when the market's down and a lot of product is dead, like it's just very, very slow, people are going to remember that. They're like, yeah, we're not buying from you. They're going to remember the stores that actually helped them out, with Prismatic. Like, hey, like they were strict, only one per person, one per customer. Maybe they sold it at retail. Maybe they sold it for like a very good price. Like I said, maybe $80 at release, which, hey, that's good. 70, $80, they're not like, oh, it's 180, 200, like, just trying to get as much as they can. Same thing for sellers. It's like, if you're someone that's literally like a video comes up of you fighting people to get like a couple boxes, that's like, bro, like you're just making yourself look like a fool. Like, it's just over for a couple dollars of profit. Like, man, that's just insane. But anyways, that's just the update for Prismatic. We'll have to see later on what happens, if it ends up going back up or if it keeps coming down, if it stagnates. Obviously we have to wait on that. But for me, I'm still waiting. There definitely is a lot of potential in the set, but I'm still waiting. That's just me. But hey, if you're someone that really wants to open the set, but be aware, people are saying that apparently the hit rates are just completely garbage. So if you still want to risk it, I mean, hey, $100, that isn't horrible. It isn't horrible, especially for a set that has like a lot of valuable, great hits. Hey, $100 isn't bad. It's a lot better than paying, 160, 170 all the way to 200. So half price basically. It's not bad. And hey, in person, I will mention this on Facebook. I did see, I think a day ago, someone had them up for like $90. They had like 3-4 ETBs. So who knows? Maybe locally you might be able to find some people that are selling it for $90 because they're just scared, or like they got it at retail and they just want that quick money. So you might be able to find a couple for 90. So yeah, just look around. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't FOMO. I know a lot of people did FOMO into the set because they thought it was gonna go to the moon, that it was gonna be impossible for them to get it if they waited till after release. So they were probably buying ETBs at 180, 200, whatever. Right? Just don't FOMO. Okay, that is just one thing. Just don't FOMO. Okay. If you've been around the hobby for a good amount, you'll know when you should, I guess, quote unquote, not FOMO, but like when you see like, hey, the price might be a little high, but there definitely is potential here, or something like that. But anyways, we're gonna end it like that. We're not gonna keep this going on for too long, but hopefully we get it some updates when it comes to Prismatic in the near future. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please feel free to drop a like, comment, and sub. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, bye for now.